Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. We're going to get started with what the hell news today. I meant to do one last night, but my neck was bothering me, so I took a muscle relaxer and went to bed. So we're going to do two today, so you'll get to yesterday's and today's in today. So let's get her started. This one comes from CBSNews.com. This lovely lady here, Janine Jones, who spells her name differently, which I appreciate because my name's spelled weird too. But she was already in jail for killing one infant and sickening another, is the way they worded it. But she was due to get out in March, so I guess they did a little digging, and they found out that now she could be responsible for up to 60 deaths of children in Texas. This was back in the early 80s. She was making them sick or killing them because she wanted to show that how badly they needed a pediatric ICU. I am all for upgrading your medical care and what's available to people, but I don't think you should have to kill people to do it. Definitely not babies, so that seems like an extreme way to go to me. But yeah, they were able to link her to 2 more murders, so she will not be getting out because they want her to take her last breath behind bars, which I think is just slightly too good for her, but that's okay. At least she won't be out there harming anybody else. Shaking my head. Our next one comes from CBSNews.com. This gentleman right here, Mr. Conrad Kaufman, is accused of kidnapping his sister to keep her from getting married. This happened in Missouri. Now, to make a little bit of sense out of this, his sister, Cindy, and her fiance, John Graber there, had left the Amish community and were going to get married, and her brother was still in the Amish community, but he had called her fiance and said he wanted to talk to her. So the fiance dropped her off to her brother. About 3 hours later, John tried to call Cindy, couldn't get a hold of her or anything, and then eventually it led to her just being gone for I believe it was like 24 hours. Yeah, so he's being held with, he was being charged with kidnapping. That is my cat, and this is the second time I've tried to do this, that banging in the back, and he's just being a turd. So, but anyway, yeah, so the brother didn't want his sister to marry this guy because they both left the Amish community. I guess the brother wanted the sister back in the Amish community, and what better way to do that than by kidnapping? So that's what he did. But he's now being charged with kidnapping, and the lovely couple is set to be married on Sunday. So hopefully that'll happen this time, and no other relatives will feel the need to impose their thoughts on that one. The next one, this one's kind of, I don't even know. I've done stories on, pedophiles and things like that. I think this one goes the opposite way. A teenager, a 19-year-old guy, he's Spanish-Moroccan migrant, in Germany, violently raped a 90-year-old woman while asking her for money. He wanted money from her. He later he was apparently intoxicated. He was on ketamine and cocaine and alcohol. So, he had a good cocktail of what the hell going on. And yeah, he violently raped this 90-year-old woman who ended up in the hospital from it. And when he was picked up by the cops, he said, yeah, I only meant to rob her, commit a robbery. I didn't mean to rape anybody. That wasn't my plan. So at least he, didn't set out to do that. Not that makes it any better, but, hey, I guess. But they used his DNA and matched him to a robbery in May, and apparently the guy had previous sexual assault on his record, and the judge is like, well, you do have previous sexual assault on your record. The guy's like, nuh-uh, because he just completely denied it. So I don't know how you can deny what is like right there in front of the judge, but hey, he was given it an all-college try. So he is now in jail, and that's a good place for him to be, because if you're dumb enough to mix alcohol, ketamine, and cocaine, these are the kinds of things that happen to you. So he apparently is quite the rap sheet. He's not a very good guy anyway, so good be to him. And the poor 90-year-old woman apparently is now doing okay, but she was hospitalized because of the attack. Just what the hell? Just what the hell? He's 19. She's a 90-year-old woman. Why would you do that? I don't have anything for that. I don't know. Yeah, so, okay. On to the next one. And this one's a favorite of mine for the day. Nigerian restaurants shut down for serving human flesh. And when I first came across this, I was like, maybe it was accidental. That was a one-off. I mean, I don't know how you accidentally serve human flesh, but, whatever. No. When the cops went in after being tipped off, they found 2 human heads that were being bled out into a plastic bag. Apparently they were fresh human heads that they were bleeding out. And they were cooking humans. And people did not know apparently what they were eating. Or maybe, from what I'm gathering, okay, so a priest ate there, and he said he didn't know that it was human meat, and that he couldn't believe how expensive it was. He was more shocked at how expensive it was than the fact that it was human meat. I just don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I don't know, I don't think that's normal practice in Nigeria, I would have to think, especially not if the police are raiding them and closing them down for it. But apparently the hotel restaurant where they were, when the cops went in, they found weapons, grenades, cell phones, all kinds of stuff. So they were just, getting humans and serving them up for dinner. I think somebody's watched a little too much Sweeney Todd or Fried Green Tomatoes or something. Because when I got down at the end of this article, that was bad enough. That was just bad enough. But the article goes on to tell us about an Australian chef who murdered his girlfriend and cooked her before killing himself. And in Brazil last year, a man and 2 women were arrested for murdering potential nannies and then cooking their flesh into empanadas. Nanny empanada? Anyone? Yeah, no. So I don't understand what this thing with people being cooked and eaten is. It's kind of been a thing you've seen more and more. I know some of the YouTube channels I've watched have been talking about, like with Katy Perry's video for Bon Appetit, and the spirit cooking and all that kind of crazy crap. I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but all I know is I'm not going to Nigeria because I don't want to be served for dinner or eat humans for dinner. I would assume not all of Nigeria is like that, but I'm just going to stay away for good measure. That was, yeah, what the hell. But it is funny, you are starting to see an uprise of people cooking people and eating people. It's weird. I don't understand. But, I guess we'll have to keep an eyeball on the trend as it keeps growing. Well, we're going to go to the last story for this video, and my favorite. This gentleman right here, Larry William Henry, was found in a hog barn having sexual relations with the pigs. When cops found him, he said, "I just like pigs." Apparently earlier that evening, he had drank a 6-pack of, very apropos, Ham's beer, and was feeling a little randy, so he went out into the pig's barn and had him some pig for dessert, so to speak. So he is, now in jail, and he, the poor pigs, I'm hoping they have counseling for them or something. That's not right. Okay, that's bad. Gentlemen need some help. Pigs probably need some help now too. So on that note, I'm gonna leave you. Y'all keep spreading love and light. Be good to each other. And until next time.